Hello there, thanks for joining me. I am AVStoryteller, and today I'm going to teach you how to install and use a excellent mod called NPC Visual Transfer Tool, and it's criminally under-endorsed at the moment, and it's a fantastic little tool that I've discovered, and it allows you to transfer the looks from one NPC to another. So you don't need to open up the creation kit or know how to use NIFSCO to get a look on an NPC that you really want. So in this example, what I'm going to do, I am going to change the looks of Gerda, who is one of the servants within Dragon Reach at Whiterun, and we're going to change her appearance to Vivace, which is an excellent follower mod. So what you have to do, first of all, go along to the NPC Visual Transfer Tool mod page, and now he mentioned in his own description that he himself hasn't found that it works very well on Nexus Mod Manager. Now I'm here to prove that is actually not the case. I currently use Nexus Mod Manager version 0.61.23, and I also use TSS 5 edit version 3.1, and I have been able to use these successfully to transfer NPC visuals over. So first thing to do is, when you actually have your Nexus Mod Manager up, make sure that you run it as administrator. This is what I do. This works for me. If you're not comfortable with that, then you can try to run it not as administrator, but you may run into problems if you have Nexus Mod Manager or TES5 edit or the actual NPC Visual Transfer Tool installed within your programs folder. And if you don't run them as administrator, then it won't copy across the necessary files to make the transfer of the textures and the meshes. So that's why I'm running all three of these files as administrator. Okay, so to begin with, go along to his mod page, click on files, and download the file manually to wherever you can find it conveniently on your PC. Okay, so save the file in the folder of your choice. Once that has downloaded, then bring up your Nexus Mod Manager, and we're going to manually install it. So you would click on Add Mod from File, find the file where in the folder that you saved it, and click Open. So once you've got it in your mod list, then double click on it. It will install it, and finally we need to run a exe file called npc visual transfer.tes5pas. So how do you get to that? You would go to Open Game folder, and you will find it within your Skyrim data folder in a folder called NPC Visual Transfer, and you're going to be running this exe file a number of times, so I would recommend that you right click, create a shortcut, and put it on your desktop. So run the file. When this pops up, so as you can see, it's TS5 script 3.1.1 that I've got installed. Click OK. Right, it may take up to like a couple of minutes for all those mods to be loaded. All depends on how many mods you've got installed. Once it's finished loading, it'll bring up this confirmation pop-up box. And if this is the first time that you're running the NPC Visual Transfer exe file, then it will ask you to create a new file. So name that file to whatever you want. In this case, I've named it to NPC Viz Transfer AVS and the date I downloaded it. If this is the second time you're running it, or the third, then it will just bring up that ESP file for you. And it's just basically asking you, please make sure that that ESP file where it's saving all the transfer details is at the bottom of your load order in comparison to any other NPC files that you've got. So if you do have other files below it, like I do, that's fine as long as they're not NPC like follower companion ESPs. Okay, so click yes, and it finishes gathering the rest of the NPC information. And eventually it'll pop up with this box. Now this is where you choose what visuals you want to change from one NPC to another. So in this case we want to use Vivace's visuals on Gerda. I'm assuming you already know how to install a follower or a companion mod. In Vivace's case, it's a very simple case of download with the manager, and then once it's downloaded, double click on it and that will install it to Nexus Mod Manager. So I've selected Vivace. It's her face I want to use, her visuals on Gerda. So you do that and then you click on the transfer button. Now you get the option of whether or not you want to also transfer across her outfits and her inventory. And I think I'm going to transfer across the default outfit as well. And then you click apply. And it will say to continue, the following files need to be added. And that's your ESP as the master. And it's saying it's going to use the Vivace ESP to get all the information from. Do you want to continue? Yes, you do. And then it gives you this helpful little info pop-up saying all backup NPC FaceGen data have been saved to the VNPC data folder, and it's just giving you a warning to do not save any plugins other than that. And you can, if you want at this point, actually deactivate Vivace, so she wouldn't be available as a second character in the Nightingale Inn, I think it is, Nightgate Inn. So if you didn't want her actually as a separate NPC roaming around in Skyrim, you can actually disable her ESP at this point. Okay, so you click OK to that, and it will finish its work, and it will say you can close this application now. Now, if you get multiple pop-up boxes here, the only one you want to have ticked is your ESP that you created. That's the only one you want ticked. And then it's done, and it'll disappear by itself. So let's load up the game now and have a look at the new Gerda. Okay, so here we are now in Dragon's Reach. Now let's go check out what the new improved Gerda looks like. And there you go.
I might just be a servant among lords, but don't think for a moment I don't take my duties as seriously as the Jarl himself takes his.
There you go. New and improved visuals. Obviously, the voice is still very much hers.
If my training gets in your way, just say the word and I'll be off.
So this brilliant tool gives you the power to change the visuals of any NPC you want in the game. So you can make them as beautiful or as despicable as you want to. So that was a bit of fun. So
need something?
How do we now change her back? Let me show you how to do that. First thing you want to do is to double click on the NPC visual transfer shortcut that you created. Click OK when you get this box. And again, it could take a minute or two depending on how many mods you've got installed for this to load up. Okay, once that has finally finished loading up all the mods, you will get this pop-up box, click yes, and it will finish gathering the rest of the NPC information, and then it will present you with the transfer box options. Okay, so in this drop-down box is the list of every NPC that you have changed. So in this case, we want to remove Gerda and return her to her vanilla appearance. So we'll click on that, and then you click on Remove Transferred NPC. And that's it. It's done, as simple as that. You can now close this down. Again, it'll give you another little information box here. Just click OK on that. It'll say you can close this application now, so we'll do that. Again, make sure that if there is multiple lines here that only your ESP file that you created is ticked, click OK. And then it is done, and it will disappear by itself. So let's reload up Skyrim and just double check that everything is okay. Okay, so here we are back in Dragon's Reach. So let's go check Gerda out and see how she looks.
If my cleaning gets in your way, just
So
say
her
the word
visuals
and I'll
are
be
back
off.
90%, but you might come across this bug where her face has gone a greyish
This here is
brown.
Dragon's Reach.
The reason
And it's
for
my
this
task
is
to
because
see it looks fit
Vivace's
for a jarl
body
night and day.
size is different from Gerda's. So what we need to do is open up the console, click on her, so we get her reference up, and we're going to type in set NPC weight to whatever default weight was. So in this case we're going to set it to 100. Hit enter, close the console, and there you go. She is back to normal. So in case you do get that face tint bug, that's how to get out of that. So as you can see, that is going to be a hugely useful and powerful tool. You now have the ability to change the appearance of anyone in Skyrim. So you can make any NPC look like any other NPC you want, without ever having to open up the construction kit. How brilliant is that? I hope this short mod tutorial will have use. If it was, please give it a like, please subscribe, and until next time, take care of yourself, and goodbye for now.